Hello, and greetings. This is Joelle, and we're having In the Cards. I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I'm doing that for myself and sharing in the hopes that you too, a little bit higher than you were before, and that you find something that helps you on your journey, make it a little bit easier. I am so excited to be here this evening, and thank you to everyone in the chat who is holding it down. Thank you to the moderator, the Good Vibe Tribe, and anyone else who happens to tune in the future. If you just give me a pause here, we're going to make sure everything is good to go. I could see yay, let's see here. We've definitely got the moderator in the house, and I've got some people tuning in. So today on In the Cards, I am going to be reading about the energy of tornadoes. Okay, this is going to be interesting because, we're talking about a weather phenomenon that is happening daily now, it seems like, for the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to tap in because there's this repeated message over and over again that is coming up both in my consciousness and around me, and all the syncs and symbolism about tornado energy. So we're going to talk about it. If you have any comments or questions, definitely post them in the chat. Hey, Jackie, nice to see you. Tanya, Tracy, all right. The rest of the Good Vibe Tribe who are here, thank you. So we're going to get right to it. Now, tornadoes. I'm a Kansas girl. I grew up in the Midwest and then also in Ohio. So my first years were in way western Kansas, almost to Colorado. And I remember the tornado drills, getting under, things, finding safety, being able to know what the siren sounded like, what the alarms meant. Weather radios, CB radios. Of course, this was in the 70s. So the network of communication that people would have in order to be able to be warned and have enough time to get to safety. So moved to Ohio. And of course, Ohio gets hit with tornadoes too. I moved to Georgia. Georgia gets hit with tornadoes as well, although not often in the metro area. So tornadoes are nothing to play with. I remember seeing one as a child. It would have been like miles away, but it was so flat that you could really see that far. You could see into Colorado and the shadow of the mountains before the era of pollution got too bad from where I lived in little tiny western Kansas. And I remember standing on the front porch and looking with my parents way off, and the sky would get to be this like really weird green color that let you know that this was not just a rainstorm, and certain clouds and things like that. And so I remember, being close proximity to one. Maybe it was a couple miles away from town as a child. My parents would probably be able to remember it better. But I just remember feeling scared about tornadoes because it literally could blow you away. And of course, the Dorothy and Toto in Kansas, and it basically the tornado swooped her up and took her to another reality, right? So, in high school, the town where I moved to, the year before I moved there, got hit with an F5 tornado, the first one I think they ever captured on camera in the modern era. And I remember us driving through and seeing the devastation. We didn't know we were going to live there yet. And then when I moved into the town, they were still sending everyone to school in an alternate building because the high school had been damaged. And the thing was, if it had happened like one day sooner or later, everyone would have been in the gymnasium for graduation. So there was like this sense of relief that it hadn't happened on that day. Now, the town where I went to high school is Newton Falls, and the zip code is 44444. So if that is a sync for somebody, we've got 4 people in the stream right now. So 44444, may the fours be with you was a thing that I grew up with. And Newton Falls has zip 44444. I think we were one of the only municipalities in the United States that had all five numbers the same. So whenever I see 44444, it's very interesting to me. So just in the last week, I started seeing 44444s repeatedly. I also had a dream a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. My tribe can attest to my kind of feeling shook after it, because I was in a building and a tornado came through in the high rise and basically sliced off half the building. And I was in it and falling to the ground. So it was kind of stressful and scary. And a few years ago, when the tornado came through downtown Atlanta, it whipped the windows off of the circular restaurant at the top of the Hilton, I think it was, round building. And it took almost 2 years or 3 years for them to get the windows replaced properly, because they had to be specialty cut and ordered from somewhere and then put back into place properly. So on that particular day, we were sitting at a patio. My cousin was in town from Nebraska, and we're sitting at a patio and having barbecue with Tanya and a group of family. And my cousin was very nervous. She's from Nebraska. She was like, "This feels like a tornado." And we're like, "No, they would tell you it would be a problem. We would know." Turns out the tornado really was going through downtown as we were sitting there at Fox Brothers Barbecue. Okay, if you're in Atlanta, you probably know where Fox Brothers is. So when we got back to my apartment, we spent like the rest of the afternoon underneath the stairwell in my apartment building with both of our dogs, because we just knew we were going to get blown away. So for me, tornadoes are kind of this feeling of trauma, of fear, definitely comes up in me because of all my kind of history and being always, is there a tornado siren operating? Are we going to get enough warning? That's part of my fear. And when I went to Universal in Orlando many moons ago, I did not enjoy the Twister ride at all. It was not fun. I had the palpitations in my heart, even though I knew it was a ride. But I thought, no, this is not fun and enjoyment or entertaining for me at all. So the tornado is something that comes up. And from what I read in dream symbolism, tornadoes signify a disruption and a whirlwind of change that is coming down, something that's going to pick you up and sit you down in a completely different reality. So with that in mind, and all of the supercells and the tornadoes and the storm chasers and prayers and thoughts definitely go to all the people. There was a town yesterday that just got obliterated in Iowa by tornadoes. So we definitely hold space and send energy out for those that they have the warning that they need and can get to safety, knowing that belongings, even though they can be replaced, the loss of them still is a deep grief, because we're talking about family heirlooms, mementos, pictures, and things that can never be replaced. But lives certainly cannot be replaced either. So keeping it in perspective, all right? So here we are, we're dealing with this tornado energy, and I want to tap in and see what guidance is for us in the now moment that deals with tornado energy and something that possibly picks us up in a very unexpected fashion that can be somewhat frightening and puts us down somewhere else, hopefully intact. I believe with advanced warning notification system, that we have that if we're tapped into our higher guidance, not our fearful guidance, but our higher guidance. And we will know when to be in a safe place should we need to weather the storm. And what I'm getting also is that when the weather radio and the siren go off, the announcer's voice is very calm. They don't say, excuse me, everyone, hurry, get out, go find shelter, hurry. It's not that. The announcement says, there's a tornado been spotted in your area. Please take shelter immediately. It's very direct. Matter of fact, it does not cause fear. I mean, you feel fear, but it's not a fearful, alarming voice. So the guidance that we're going to get from our higher self and from our wisdom, our guides, and those who are around us, our guardian angels, it's not going to be a fearful voice of rushing. It's going to tell you logically what you should do, where you should go, and how far away or when to expect the storm to arrive. So knowing that, we're going to tap in. I was guided to pull several decks. And of course, the first one is that I just saw immediately is the Energy Oracle card. Now, I pulled this card specifically. It's not just a draw at this point. It is the Storm Warning card. Let's see if we can turn everything around here. Okay, storm warning. So we've got this wave coming up, and it's coming around almost like a Greek structure that's open. You get a sense that it might be like the Oracle Temple, but we've got a tornado over the water and a large wave coming in. So this is, of course, something that is very concerning. There's a broken column or structure laying here in the forefront. So when the storms arrive, they take something that was part of the structure and it goes away. It's damaged, but you can see there are more things still standing than fell down in this particular catastrophe, although the waves have not yet really arrived. So let us see what here. It says that clouds are on the horizon. This can indicate a potential difficulty either in the external world or within you and your emotional life. The difficulty is coming closer, and you may have already heard rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be cautious, yet not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself and take action on your own behalf. As with all difficulty, even the worst storm passes. Always remember, you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. The affirmation, I have the power to overcome any obstacle. No matter what is going on, I can be strong, confident, and self-directed. Okay, strong, confident, and self-directed. So I take that guidance to heart here. I am going to be, in the face of anything coming, strong, confident, and self-directed. And that is higher self-directed. All right. So I'm going to get some tarot now so we can see. Does anybody have any tornado blips? Has any tornadoes hit your radar? I know that after there are solar flares and energy that comes off the sun, which we have also experienced a solar storm over a period of like 10 days, where just day by day by day, we were getting hit by all of these disruptions that we feel on an energetic level. The magnetic field of Earth is hit by this. You can look at the science. There's NASA, SOHO, there's any number of places where you can validate this for yourself. But when that happens, when there is an uptick in solar activity, there is an uptick on all of the elements: the wind, the water, the earthquakes, the ground shakes. All of these things we are seeing. We have had a volcano wake up over in another country over across the pond. We've had storms every day. We had Houston get hit by like an insane kind of 100-mile-per-hour wind, 80-mile-per-hour wind. All of these things can be attributed to the changes that we experience disrupting our planetary grid. So there are more coming, and there's a new sunspot also coming around here in another week or so. So who knows what further disruptions this will cause. So being aware that the weather, space weather is a thing, is also important. So I know that our moderator is the Earth Watcher and follows the earthquakes. And definitely there have been a lot of tremors hitting in places. So I want to see what guidance we have from the tarot that speaks to the current or incoming tornado energy. One more shuffle. All right. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we have, first of all, in our feeling state, the Judgment reversed. It's very interesting because in this card, it's like, busting out the zombie hand, busting out from the ground, but this is reversed in this particular card. So it's almost like the hand of the creator coming down, though, with the power of that energy down on into our reality. So it's very interesting because, the Judgment card is about the accounting of things and the balancing of the books, and the end of when the trumpet blows and the last, when the last trumpet sounds, where are you going to be is the kind of card, and the message that the Judgment card comes in. Are you willing to be seen naked before the creator kind of energy? And so here in reverse, we have a bad judgment or something that is not going to necessarily be seen properly. So we have to make sure that internally, that this is our feminine, our internal feeling state, that we are not using bad judgment because of the energy of fear. This is the overarching energy. Now, the Eight of Swords speaks to being trapped in a thought pattern, a mindset, and being able to release ourselves from this. If we just simply open our eyes and survey the landscape without all of the clouded thoughts, then we can move out of the situation that we think that we are trapped in. So we have here also then the Six of Pentacles in the manifesting or masculine side of the thing. So this is about even give and take, equal exchange. So what we want to do is not be looking at judgment and have a mindset, because our outer reality then will reflect that inner state. So again, with the not being afraid or fearful when we're encountering the storms, being prepared. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, as the saying goes. All right. So now I want to see one of the decks that I was guided to pull. I don't think I've used, but maybe one or two times. And this is the Oracle of Atlantis. Now we know that Atlantis was destroyed by a cataclysm that sunk the city into the ocean as it goes. And we know that part of that energy was about an imbalance in the natural way of the crystals being used and the alignment and all the energies, and they got imbalanced, depending on the story that you tap into, for a lot of reasons. But definitely the experience of letting something get so out of order that it falls into destruction is something that we have experienced over and over again. The fall of the empire, the fall of the Roman Empire, the fall of everything that is built out of balance will fall, and oftentimes it is cataclysmic. So would someone in the chat please pick 1, 2, or 3? We're going to see what the energy of the Atlanteans wants to bring forward for us in this now moment. Whew. Staying out of the fear state, being trapped in the head, is definitely something that is a challenge for me. Okay, we got card 3 here. Thank you. Let me put that up. Whew. All right. Oh, the tightrope walker. Look at that. And that is the tightrope balancing. That's also 6 of Pentacles, a balancing act. Okay. And one of the things when you are on a tightrope, you don't look down. You do not look down, because when you look down, that is when it gets scary. Like you are supposed to, well, maybe on a tightrope, you're supposed to keep your feet. I don't know. I would need to look down because I need to see where I'm going. But I guess if that causes you to be fearful and not trusting, it would be better if you just keep your balance. You see, she's got that wand of energy, and that's what the tightrope walker does, is he slowly steps and places his foot where it is to be, using that energy to maintain balance with confidence. And if you start to go to the side, then you're like, you use your energy to bring you back up, because there's nothing else you can grab onto when you are in the tightrope. And she's approaching this water of a waterfall, which is like your emotions approaching that. But on the horizon behind it is the sun. Here we go. That's solar energy again in the background of this particular card. And it's interesting because I know Dr. Tracy, who picked this number, her granddaughter is a gymnast and does gymnastics. So balance beam and all of that kind of ability to do scary things on little objects and do it successfully is part of what this young lady already has developed a confidence in doing. So where have we developed confidence to maintain our balance as we navigate situations that can be fearful if you look at them wrongly? All right, this is very interesting. This is card number 36, which is a 9. So 9 is talking about completions and endings of cycles. So let us see here. Whew. The energy just got really, really strong for me. Hold on here. Let me change my glasses so that I can read. Okay. The tightrope walker. Men and women often go beyond their normal strength, always wanting to go further in order to prove to themselves that they can do so. Thus, even after having won some races and wrestling matches, an Atlantean who yearned to be greater than the others wanted to achieve even more. So he decided to cross from one side of a riverbank to the other by walking above a waterfall on a thin rope that he himself had twisted. The torrent of water that came from the mountain suddenly shot down into the valley in a deafening surge of foam. Did he reach the other riverbank safely? This card, if surrounded by harmonious cards, indicates that you've taken risks. It's even possible that you've been reckless, but the outcome is good and is assured. If the card is surrounded by inharmonious cards, it's advising you to renounce your reckless projects, which are not unfeasible. It's better to give up, to start again on another footing. Whether it's a matter of work or a matter of love, don't waste your time any longer. Okay, now we get to see whether it's a harmonious or an inharmonious card that came up with this. All right. Whoo. Walking the tightrope. All right, let's see here. Oh, now this is a good harmonious card, but it's also interesting because you'll see why. Okay, this is the card that came up. The High Priest, and that is card number 13. Now, card 13 in tarot is the death card, which death is the ending of a cycle, which is necessary, and the beginning of something new. We all go through death cycles all of the time, and it's from death comes new life. So I'm very interesting to see. We also have this sun here again in the background, and on this table is the crystals. And this almost feels like the Ark or the Ark of the Covenant, some form of energy. This high priest here has got grail or goblets beside him that have smoke emitting, and he's standing beneath this this stone structure, arms upheld with the crystals high on top. And we know that crystals are energy. And in Atlantis, they were used around the planet, around the grid, in a holistic way at first to help balance out the grid of the planet and to be a frequency. We received our energy from that. It was integral into the way that people experienced living. And so part of that we have in the past is the story is that they buried certain crystals around the planet in advance of the cataclysm, and that we are uncovering these crystals now, and they are re-emerging and coming back online, and the power and the energy of those things is pulsing across the planet in a benevolent way to help us stabilize us in this time. So let us see what this card says here. Okay. The high priest, having brought back from the forest the crystal that ignited the fire, the Atlanteans venerated it. To them, it represented a secret force of nature. They installed the crystal on an altar and ignited little pieces of wood on tripods, thinking that the smoke rising in the air would be agreeable to the stone. The crystal shone from all the fires placed around it, and especially from the first rays of the sun. As soon as they came close, the sun rays projected brilliant blues, greens, and reds according to the time of day. It was magical. The high priest came to pay homage to the crystal in the morning when it was illuminated, and in the evening when the darkness removed its fires. It was a tradition. There were many. That's so interesting because the sun rays and the solar rays have been making the auroras of red and green and pink and burgundy out into our atmosphere. And it's being witnessed all around the globe in places that it has not been witnessed in ever or in our lifetimes for certain. So that is very interesting that they're saying from the first rays of the sun, when they came close, they projected brilliant blues, greens, and reds according to the time of day. All right, the interpretation says you are continuing on your path, confronting the hazards of the material life, and you happen to take a break. The high priest announced that you have somewhere within you consciousness of the spiritual life. You're beginning or beginning again to regain the image of God that had dimmed. You're aware that there exists something besides eating, working, and sleeping, the routine of daily life. Listen to the little voice that's awakening you or reawakening you. You're on the right path. If, on the other hand, this card is surrounded by inharmonious cards such as the dagger, hypocrisy, or werewolf, it indicates that among your close relatives, there are those who are bothered by your spirituality and that they are trying or will try whatever they can to lead you astray. Open your eyes. Okay, interesting caution here to see. Stay with your heart. Trust yourself. You are the one on the tightrope. And if you are following it, you will be all right. Okay, let's see here. This was a very small little set. So we're going to read all of it because all the other piles were very big, but card pile number 3 only had 5 cards in it. So we're going to keep going. And it's interesting because I saw this card on the back of the deck when I started shuffling. So I'll get to that and we will see here. I'm glad it came back out because I was very, very drawn to it. So the next card we have is the moon, La Lune. Now, you see, we have a full moon coming up tomorrow or the day afterwards. Full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is card 14 and the tarot is talking about balance, temperance, and between the sun and the moon. So we have here the priest who goes out in the sun and sees different rays, and then also in the evening and sees different rays from the crystals. So we have this moon element here again with the stone table, but the stone table is partially submerged in the water. And as we know, the moon pulls the tides, it pulls our energies and our emotions. And you can see the crown chakra of this person is just illuminated and receiving codes and information. So if you are guided by your intuition, the moon mother, the feminine knowledge coming through, and we're also receiving activation from that. So let us see here. I love this deck. I'm going to have to use it more. It's reading really well tonight, so I'm grateful that I was guided and I trust my guidance. All right, so this says the astral body is, in fact, the great bestower of the light of the spirit. One must keep in mind that when Atlantis rose from the sea, it created such a cosmic upheaval that the moon felt itself sucked up by waves that it couldn't control, and it ended up closer to planet Earth and to humanity. Its mysterious force was then detected by nature. In fact, it's acknowledged that the moon influences the seas as well as human beings. In fact, the humans who lived in that time in hordes like animals saw their reasoning develop and their bodies changing along with their spirit. The human race changed. Today, no one can deny the influence of the rays of the moon, which can modify the behavior of every being. Good mood or bad mood, we must realize, no doubt, that the moon is capable of influencing our spirit. This card is beneficial. It allows us to perceive what isn't always currently visible. It illuminates events, enabling us to have a clearer understanding of them, and it helps us to take to take advantage of any situation. All right, so this is beautiful. We don't have any inharmonious cards, so I'm just not even going to really dwell on that at this point. All right, again, trusting that inner wisdom, the inner intuition, the inner guidance, allowing that download to come in through your crown chakra, okay, to be illuminated. Beautiful, beautiful. That's High Priestess, the Cancer, the Crab, the Moon, La Luna. Beautiful energy. Okay, so the next card we have is the Stars. And this is card number 4. So the Kansas state motto is ad astra per aspera, to the stars through difficulties. We see all of the signs written in the stars. When we're tapped in and we follow the astrology of the planets and the movement of celestial bodies, then again, we can know when to plant and when to harvest, when to step forward, when to move back, as long as we're aligned with the cycles of the natural things visible to us from our human perception. So it's also very interesting. I've been working through the reading of the Stellar Nations, which talks about our cosmic history through various planets and stars and objects, and how we all receive like our divine coding as we step through various gateways throughout recorded history, and it's written in our stars. Okay, so let's see here what we have for card number 4. The stars protect us. Seen from the earth, they are the night's golden cover. Their luminosity envelops the villages and cities. Their sleeping inhabitants are peaceful in their well-deserved slumber. At night, the body surrenders, the muscles relax, and the veil of forgetfulness covers the human spirit. Dreams take birth and imbue sleep with soothing and restful images for those whose hearts are at peace. Finally, the stars recharge our energy so that we can better face the next day's challenges. Interpretation: the stars are, in all cases, immense protection. They announce that you have already succeeded in your plans, or that you are about to succeed without any possible error. Okay, that's beautiful. Let the stars guide. We are following the celestial patterns, the heavenly bodies. Keep up with your moon cycles. And also just take time to go outside and see the stars. If you live somewhere where it's sunny, or not sunny, but too bright at night, go drive somewhere where you can see the stars. Take 45 minutes, drive to the outskirts of your towns and look up. Just look up. It's a beautiful energy. Okay, so the last card that was the one that I saw before we started was the ship. 22. 2 and 2 is balance. It's also 4. That's what 22 is a master number. For me, it's a feminine number. Master builder, beginning things that form structure and partnership. And we see ships sailing across waters. Now, I have another reading on my channel from back a long time ago that it was a timeless reading about the tower. And my guides brought in a beautiful download about what happens when the tower encounters in every aspect, your mental, emotional, physical, I know I'm forgetting one, thought. When the tower arrives, what happens? And basically the message is your ship may sink, but you have insurance on the ship. And just like the Titanic, you get compensated for that which is lost always. But it's also like I'm waiting for my ships to come in, and these ships are full of sail, and there is not a storm on the waters. It just looks like a normal sailing day. And also on this I see notes of music. So for me, music is a beautiful way for me to balance my energy. I use it to settle and to calm and to focus when I'm feeling scattered, or to raise my vibration if I'm feeling depressed. It's a very powerful energy mover. So tap into the music. And if you hear songs in your mind, you may be getting guidance from your spirit team that is going to lead you into the safety that you need. So trust the music that you hear as well. All right, so here we go. Again, thank you to everybody in the chat for showing up. Okay. On a serene blue sea, the ship glides with its sails unfurled, a symbol of peace, tranquility, and calm, perhaps after a storm. The Atlanteans evolved, perfecting the construction of their first boats, which were built out of hollowed out tree trunks and which the fishermen used to sail out to sea in order to catch large fish. Realizing that the wind was a force, sometimes an extraordinary force when it blew hard, they came up with the idea of using it and channeling it. From these observations were born sails whose surface was more in proportion with the boat itself. They ended up with a fleet of stabilized ships that enabled them to travel with complete security. The Atlanteans went even further in their research and constructed the first submarine. I love that. It says they ended up with a stable ship that enabled them to travel with complete security. So we can travel with complete security when we allow the voice of spirit to whisper guidance to us. It says this card indicates, first of all, that the path is a good one and that the project linked to the path is going to succeed. This is what you should do, and that there will be a happy conclusion. It also can indicate a journey, a vacation, and a well-deserved relaxation. Okay, I receive all of that. A well-deserved relaxation. All right, now this is doing a lot to help me move from any kind of lingering energy of Eight of Swords and fear that has been coming up. So that's exactly why I wanted to tune in and tap in, because I wanted to get higher guidance about all of these seemingly warning and kind of low vibration things that were being brought to my awareness. So, okay, we're going to keep going here. We're right at 42 minutes. I'm moving as fast as I can through this, but giving time for spirit to give the guidance that's needed. Let me switch back here. Okay. All right. Wonderful. So we are going to get guidance from the Enchanted Map. Can I get a number from the Good Vibe Tribe, please? Let's see what our GPS, what the map wants to say. I love that little thing I saw the kids of the cartoon where he's like, I'm the map. And the little map had a song, but like, I am the map. I receive inside through my internal guidance system the map of where I should go, the direction. That is where my compass reads. All right. So let's see what the Enchanted Map wants to add here. Two more shuffles. We're going to stick with card number 3, since that's the one that was listed before. Unless I see something else here shortly, we're going to stay with 3. All right. Here we go. So, interesting. These were both in reverse. All right. Let me show these here. So we have Magic Stream in reverse and Slow and Steady in reverse. Now, I love nautilus shells. I love that because it's, again, for me, connecting to the inner whispers and Fibonacci and sacred geometry and expanding growth and spiral. So I'm very curious to see what we get. And also, we have here another waterfall coming in, which was, where was our waterfall lady? Oh, yes. It's almost like the same. Oops, this one is the one that was reversed. The bridge here kind of connects interestingly. So let us see here. Magic Stream. Oh, we've got, okay, so we've got a rainbow in the upper part. It's very, very pale. We've got this flamingo or stork or bird. I know a brother, if you get a chance to check him out, D's Divine Tarot 411, and brother is a divine masculine, and he has a little family of birds or cranes that he is always connecting with. They're around him, and he gives them a shout out and stuff. So maybe this is a message for you, Daryl. But okay, Magic Stream. So let's see here. This is card number 18, which is another 9. Okay. In reverse, it says that this represents swimming against the current. There are times when effort and sheer willpower result in victory and celebration, but this isn't one of them. You cannot force inspiration and you cannot manufacture creativity lest you borrow too heavily from others' ideas. Nor can you make someone love you or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. Now is the time to drop the trying and jump into the stream and float. Immerse yourself in the experience of being fully present with whatever is true for the moment. You'll never step in the same river twice anyway. All right. Like nothing is the same from moment to moment. So that is also good to know, because going and doing and prepping and getting and all that, I don't need to do that. I just need to stay in the flow, be in the moment, and not resist anything. Trust again that everything is going to be all right. Okay. Slow and Steady is card number 12, which is a 3. Here we have it in reverse. Let's see what this has for us. Pushing things forward impulsively will not only prevent success, but potentially cause more trouble than you're prepared to handle. Moving too quickly will only yield unripe fruit with a bitter taste. Slow down, breathe, meditate. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. Just be. Everything will work out if you can apply the brakes and become more aware of what's happening in this moment. A calm focus on the now, breathing in the beauty of your surroundings, will restore your power to consciously co-create your world. All fruits ripen in their own time. Okay, another calming message. I receive that. Calm down. Breathe. Align yourself into the energy and then just allow yourself to be guided along the way, trusting that you will be in the higher timeline experience of whatever comes. Your ship is all right. Okay, all right, yay, wonderful. Now, what I want to see is, yes, after a storm happens, things are brought up that have not been seen before. Things are overturned, ground is overturned, houses are overturned, all kinds of stuff in the clearing after the storm is over, what washes up on the beach, the debris, and all those things reveal artifacts and stuff that's never been visible to us before. So we are going to see what the hidden worlds, the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, says about what is revealed to us through the process of the tornado and upheaval. I'm going to stick with pile number 3 for this. All right, here we go. First out, the Temple of Dreams, Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, and Dream Journeys. Okay, I started with a dream situation where the tornado happened for me in that space. And where is the card with the, oh yes, here we have that columns in that temple that we saw here. Again, on a lake. You have hammocks here and a boat. It's very calm. So trust your dreams. Trust the dream time. Give yourself time to tap in and remember in the morning. One of the things that I do is I have wonderful to be supported by all of my besties because I can call them with my bullfrog voice first thing in the morning and speak my dreams aloud before they disappear from my awareness as the day kicks in. I don't look at my phone other than to just dial it. I don't start scrolling because I try to keep that liminal space together so I can get all the details. But I've learned not to be afraid of losing anything because inevitably it will come back to mind. But I have been touring with the idea of doing my dream prophecies and things. It's very interesting that this is coming up because it's affirming for me that I can possibly give more guidance and receive more things that I will share more with the community. Yes. For the next deck, I'm going to choose card number 1 because I do see it here in the chat. Thank you, Kuba. Okay, so in the dream time, let us see here. This is card number 36. That's the second time we got a 36, the tightrope walker who trusts the inner wisdom in order to navigate the path. So I am going to trust my dream state to help be one of the things that guides me along my journey. I also have a video from a few years ago called My Dream of the Event, a message for Lightworkers. I'm going to put it in the links to the show note because in there I talk about the dream that I had where the rainbow wave and the sparkle, the event of activation was happening. And I feel that it's relevant for this now moment because I'm getting the message to go back and listen to it. So I'm definitely going to do that. All right. So the Temple of Dreams. There are holy places in the hidden worlds where dreams are created. Libraries where dreams that are necessary to be dreamt are stored. Hello, I'm a librarian. Love it. Okay. They are written in codes of light woven into the energy field and then sent through portals and vortexes into the world of the humans and delivered to the beings who are most open to receiving them. This we do with ideas and creations, and most often dreams. We create these dreams to inspire you, to offer you the very greatest moments of possibility, to send you memories of other lives, to share preludes of the lives to come, to convey the connections that are between all of us and all of you. Your dreaming life is another life, not simply a place where you go through your day or work or rehearse your life. This takes place, it is true, but the dreams of the spirit will come to you written by the scribes of the priestess and the gods and all the divine ones in these temples of dreams. You will now recognize that the dreams you felt were only dreams, as in not real enough to possibly hold the significance you thought they may contain. They are, dear soul, real. These are sent to you, they now belong to you, and they contain codes, energies, messages, and truths that can open you up until you feel wisdom breathing through your every cell. We will write the dreams your soul most needs. We will continue to send them to you. And if you ask us, we will send you the dreams you need to change your life. I ask to receive the dreams that will change my life and the lives of others for their highest good. The illumination. Dreaming is my spirit study. The visions I receive are the texts my soul has taken from the libraries of the hidden world. I received that. I received that. Okay, wow. Okay, I received that. Okay. Dawn Watcher, Caretaker, Guardian, and Support. And we have card number 13, which was here, I believe. Dawn Watcher. Remember the priests who go out and watch the sunrise and the sunset. Now, I will tell you, I am not a morning person, although when I am on the ocean down in Mexico, in my favorite little place, my second home, Playa del Carmen, I am up with the sun, looking at the sunrise over the ocean all the time. But for some reason, when I'm here, I can't get up early, but I know that the moderator pops up in the morning and is usually watching the sunrise. I know Jackie, Tanya, you all are early birds. Tracy, I know you're an early bird. You're out there. All of you are up meditating and doing your thing. So the caretakers, the guardians, the support, beautiful. 13 and 13, the caretakers, the guardians, the support, the high priests and the high priestesses. All right. And of course, one of my friends is Dawn. So, I'm going to send this to you afterwards, Dawn, over at Holistic Health and Wellness up in Marietta. It's interesting because when we all went to Mount Shasta on our heart opening retreat, we went to see Haruko BlueStarChild, who's a beautiful, beautiful artist. Hello, Haruko BlueStarChild. And in her gallery, she has a beautiful picture, A New Dawn. And it is a beautiful light language art that she's just an amazing and gifted woman. And so I can't describe it better than that, but I will point at you again in the resource notes to her shop and where you can see a new dawn. So we are bringing in that energy of the new dawn. We are watching for it in the skies, watching for it in the skies. Oh, wow, look at where there is a face in the sky. I also know a sister on a journey who is in Tornado Alley in Kansas near the Oklahoma border, and she has recently been seeing things written in the clouds, words, signs, symbols, and names that at first she thought that they were not actually that she was seeing things, but then she realized, no, I see those things, and I know what I'm seeing. As part of that is trust. Yes, I know what I am seeing, and it's not just a figment of my imagination. Some of the pictures that have been coming in from around the globe on channels like Mr. MB3333, who's a sky watcher and phenomenon watcher, he's been showing pictures where people have been capturing things in the clouds, such as faces and angels and rays and all manner of stuff. So I'm sure that this has to do with that as well. Okay, excuse me. Let me go on and take my inhaler since the moderators will jump on me if I don't. So pardon me. Okay. This is your chance to fully realize the beauty and potential of a new day. We cannot always see that we are watched over. We cannot always find within us the belief that we matter and are cared for by the universe. But if we could see with the eyes of the Spirit, we would see there are precious beings all about us who will show up each day and watch over us. They do not interfere, but if we reach out and ask for their help, we catch a precious glimpse of them within the clouds of the dawn sky, their faces loving and caring, assuring us that although we feel alone and small, we are always looked after, and there is always a deeper purpose at play within our lives, and we have something unique and precious to offer the world. Your soul belongs to the great universe of which it is a part, and therefore the universe is closely watching you to ensure that you will have the support you need. In this moment, on this day, know there are watchers ensuring you will continue on this journey. Take a moment this day amidst all that is demanding your attention and pulling you this way and that, and imagine a dawn, a reset, a chance to start with love surrounding you, and know that the watcher is there, gazing at you with infinite love and compassion. Be reassured that the soul has a plan and the universe has a mission, and you are part of this glorious unfolding. The illumination, I am watched over by loving and supportive beings. Oh, that's so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Through the storm, we will know what is coming. We are safe. We are secure. We are watched over in every moment in ways that we cannot even imagine. So, for a final message, I'm going to get from the of the universe, since the universe is watching over us. And we will take card number 1 because that was what was put in the chat. Whew, sorry, y'all. I get so hot when I do these readings. It's like the energy is just flowing through my body constantly. So part of what I'm experiencing is a reaction to that. So thank you, everyone, again, who has shown up for this. And when you see this message, may you know and be reassured that it was meant specifically to find you, and that you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear the divine presence all around you to guide you through from within. All right, let's see here. This is the Oracle of the Universe. Let me give it 2 more shuffles here. And then we are going to get pile number 1. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, guardianship. This is the dragon constellation, Draco. The guardian. Oh, it's beautiful. These golden apples and the egg of creation. The guardian. Sorry, this card is just really kind of dark. So I'm having a hard time. If you could see the dragon, of course you can. Let me see here. There, that's a little bit better. And of course, one of our favorite movies is How to Train Your Dragon, right? And we know that he was a nice little benevolent dragon, the night flyer, I think was his name, but this is a 28. So let us see here what guidance and guardian is like the golden apple, the treasure and the knowledge, and then the egg of creation. Yep, how to train your dragon. We had eggs recently coming up. It's like protecting. It almost looks like a mushroom egg or something. So let us see here. Very interesting. What the Draco constellation is. I'll have to look this up in the Stellar Nations to see. I know that the Dragon Nation was a thing, and I think, there's a large dramatic history with that. But let's see here. Guardianship. Whew. Changing glasses. All right. Much better. You are precious. Know what you value and what your values are. Guard your own true self and your authenticity. Ensure your boundaries are strong. Protect your ideas. Ensure your property is safe and secure. All right, so this is perfect because for Tanya, who selected card number one of her mottos is to thine own self be true. She's an Aries rising, so that self-conscious protection and focus is front and center, right? So to thine own self be true. Guard your own true self with your authenticity. So dragons appear in myths from all over the world, and many stories have a theme of treasure or guardianship. Ancient Sumer, China, Celtic culture, Korea, Japan, and through the Middle East, the dragon protects what is his. Ladin was the Hesperian dragon, the dragon of the West, a fearsome creature with 100 heads who guarded the golden apples of the Hesperides, the nymphs of the evening light. The apples granted immortality to anyone who ate them. Heracles was tasked with stealing the apples of one of his 12 labors. As he defeated Ladin, Hera raised him into the sky. The dragon's head often sits below the foot of the constellation of Heracles. The constellation features many galaxies, but especially interesting are the galaxies whose gravitational fields disturb and interact with each other. The constellation features Kepler-10, famous for being the most Earth-like rocky planet outside of the solar system. The words of power, I am the guardian of my own true self. Okay, very interesting because it's talking about the gravitational fields disturbing and interacting with each other. And that is part of what we are experiencing on the planet in the stellar energy. All right, so very interesting. And you can find it if you look near the Big Dipper and Polaris, the North Star. Halfway between the cup and the North Star is the end of Draco's tail. It is visible all year round in the northern hemisphere. All right, so very, very interesting. Guarding the golden apples, guarding your treasure and your knowledge, standing up for yourself. Interesting, okay? And the second guidance we have then is the constellation Vulpecula. And this deals with generosity. Look at this moon we have in here. Overwatching this fox, okay? The power of the fox. The fox can get in and out of anything. It can be seen as either negative or positive, but we have this beautiful moon overlighting it. So let us see here, again with the 30, which is 3 energy coming through. Vulpecula. Share your knowledge and good fortune. Break down tasks into teamwork. Assist those you know and don't know. Your generosity is often returned to you threefold. Being generous is one of the great joys of life. Do not give in expectation of a return. Okay, that's beautiful. Give and give, be generous. Let's see here. Cerberus was the good dog of the underworld and a beloved pet of Hades. A dog with a job, he guarded the gates of the realm of the dead so the dead couldn't get out or someone alive couldn't get in. So what that he looked fierce with his three massive heads. He bothered no one unless they transgressed. One day, Cerberus felt hungry and he knew that his master Hades wouldn't be back for a while. A small fox, lost in the underground, came to the gates and they got to talking. Cerberus told the little fox about his hunger. The little fox assured him that he could bring Cerberus something delicious to eat, such as a goose, if he told him how to get out. Since the fox had not entered the gates and was technically still alive, Cerberus gave the fox directions. The fox left. Cerberus was, and please forgive me if I'm butchering the name, right? Cerberus was delighted and offered to. Cerberus was almost sure the fox had tricked him and he would stay hungry, but soon the fox was back with a freshly killed goose. Cerberus was delighted and offered to share the goose gift with his new friend. Both shared the goose and were content. The fox went back to his life in the world of the living, but visited Cerberus. The fox, upon his death, was raised to the sky as Velpecula. Generosity has direct benefits to not only the receiver, but the giver. We know from studies that active generosity can help fight depression and increase our happy hormones. It reduces our heart rate and stress, decreasing anxiety and pain. When we are generous, the parts of the brain relating to mood management and happiness light up. The Pecula is a constellation that contains the famous Dumbbell Nebula, which was the first planetary nebula ever found. The eastern part of the Pecula is occupied by the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, which is the largest known structure in the universe. It is, wait for it, 10 billion light years in length. 10 billion light years in length. A borealis in the stars. That is unbelievable. 10 billion light years. Velpecula belongs to the Hercules family of constellations and includes Aquila, Hera, Centaurus, Hercules, Hydra, Lyra, and more. 10 billion years. Look how big isolation is. Like that feature, the energy of it. Generosity is that big, right? When you give, it comes to good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So the words of power, I am generous and kind. This is positive action for me and for others. All right. Wow. That is beautiful. Do not let fear cause you to withhold and shut down and withdraw. Better yet, tune into your higher guidance and the frequencies and the love that is there surrounding and protecting you. Be generous of yourself and what you have to offer. Of course, not imbalance, but give, right? This is the Six of Pentacles, giving generously to others from the overflow and from the abundance. Okay, so this is beautiful, beautiful energy. Thank you so much for everyone who is tuned in. I definitely feel enlivened, supported. I am taking the message to heart for myself. And so please do plan to return because I will share dreams that I receive on the channel with members, and I'll put a dream drop onto the title so that you know that that's where it's coming from. If you have any other questions or Let's see what we have here. Spread love. Yes, being generous. Speaking of generosity, you know, the teachers who give so generously of themselves and their time nurturing and caring for our kids and people who are learning. It's their time, it's the end of the year for them. And so please be generous with them. I know that the people at Atlanta Smart Academy were blessed with a cupcake cornucopia from Gooba's Gourmet. The motto of Gooba's Gourmet is spreading love. Every baked thing is infused with it. And so we have all these wonderful students and teachers and caregivers that give selflessly, receive selflessly from others who acknowledge and appreciate that. And so that is the example of the giving and the gift and the abundance that is absolutely received when we dwell in our gifts with trust and knowledge of who we're guided to do something for. That's who we do it for. We don't second guess ourselves and we don't judge others as unworthy. We just give generously. All right, I'm going to close it down for this evening, and I honor the light in you, and may you shine for others so that they can also see the light in themselves. Namaste.